On the road. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Break by Break Stories of Home. I'm your host, Edme, and I have with me my good friend and co-host,
Darwin.
I don't know why you hesitating on saying your name.
I was like, forget it. Well, I was wondering if I should say my last name too. I guess I remember you need first names to say Darwin.
But hey, thank you again for tuning in for another episode where we peel the curtain little by little to show you what's happening behind the scene, what it looks like for us, and we talk about different aspects of the business. So today I'm really excited to talk about, another part of the journey, kind of like diving in a little bit talking about like risk we've taken, the what the road looks like. And because I feel like people always see the happy clients, they see the keys, they see the closings,
Social media.
It's like they see everything that's fun and positive, but they don't see, the struggles, the risks that we take, the grind, the day-to-day, the hustle that we have to put in. And, it's like, to kind of like kick off, like, ask the question to the audience, like, have you ever really thought of what it takes to build a business as a realtor or as a loan officer?
I think the biggest thing, not even as a loan officer or a realtor, is to be employed with you. It's 100% commission.
Yes.
Right? Regardless of what the field is, to be 100% commission in any field is difficult. Yeah. It's a roller coaster, right? You have great months, you have bad months, you have, right? This market is tough. It's not easy.
No.
So, and I think people don't realize that we, if anybody, want the loan to close because we don't get paid unless it closes. Pretty much. The last second, and the rug gets pulled under or it doesn't close, that's a lose for everybody.
Yeah. No, and it was like a big shift that I had to do when I was getting into this business because I came from, what would be defined as corporate America. I had a very good job working in, last position before I transitioned, in healthcare as a case manager, led a team of 13. So I had every 2 weeks, I knew as long as I showed up, I had a check coming in.
That's the best part about 9 to 5 or having a salary job is just guarantee that income, right?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, in commission, you get paid what for the most part, what you're worth, right?
Yeah.
If you're a great producer and you work hard, you're going to make great income.
Paid really well.
Right? But you also have to be self-motivated. You have to, right? It's easy to just sit around all day, do nothing, not answer emails, phone calls.
There's a lot of distractions.
Ton of distractions.
It is very easy. We do a lot of our work on our phone.
Yeah.
And the biggest distraction
is our phone. Yeah. Well, I think anyone who's self-employed, and this is kind of self-employed because 100% commission, tell you is you're not working 40 hours a week. No. And I laugh all the time because I love when realtors say, the soccer mom or the soccer dad goes, I'm going to do this part-time. No, the hell you are. No, you're not.
Give it a try.
Yeah, good. No, you're not. When do you think open houses happen? When do you think people want to see houses? You think they want to see at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Try 5:30, 6 o'clock when you got to work. So, no, you're not.
Yeah. But I mean, there's like a ever-ending balance that you also have to do because we talk about, this aspect of client care where we need to respond to our clients. We need to show them properties. You need to get a loan through. We need to do open houses. But what about the marketing? We need to market ourselves as well.
I think that's where it's changing, right?
Yeah.
Before 5 years ago, 10 years ago, social media, it was there, but now we just hinted at it. Like on social media, you can't scroll without seeing a realtor posting just listed, just purchased, just
sold.
That's the norm now, right? And that's how it really is out there. But like you said, that's just not real, right?
No.
It's like the Instagram models or and all that. That's not real life, boys and girls.
That's like the fun aspect of it. That's the win.
Yeah.
After you've done the hard work.
Well, I think my mentor when I first started, or when I started learning, the business is the loans and the deals you're closing today. You started those 3 months ago.
Yes.
You started those 4 months ago. You started those conversations. I dealt with people I closed and with them 2 years before they sold the property for various reasons or whatever. But you shouldn't be counting your closing out. It's what's on to the next.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And, kind of like how you're saying, like a lot of the clients that we're closing today are clients that we started working months, oftentimes years before we got to this part. So this is why we see a lot of highs and low in the industry or in our business. It's like you'll have some really great months where you have 5, 6 closings and you'll have a down month that you probably have 1 or 2.
Look something up while you were.
So, and, kind of like one of the past episodes I talked about, I would define it as Hell Monday. It's the 2 weeks or a week and a half before that Monday. I had 5 transactions locked in, ready to go. Offer gets accepted. So we're cruising.
I'm sorry to interrupt the story, and I didn't know the number. I wanted to do the number. This crazy stat from 2022 to 2024, 46% of loan officers have left the business. Almost half are gone. Why? Because it's hard, boys and girls. It's hard. Sales is hard.
Well, I mean, there's a high turnover in our field. Because, I mean, even like on the realtor side, I believe it's somewhere 90 to 95 will leave within the first 5 years.
But here's the thing, and I'm going to sound a little weird when I say this. I think it's great. I think it's great. Because you're a shit human being and you're a bad person and we laugh. We've counted them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You're a terrible loan officer, a terrible realtor, or you're doing what's only selfish for you. You're kind of getting faded out now, right? Because I don't want to work with a realtor that is kind of like, dude, kind of a bum, the sleazebag. Get away from me. Like you're gonna take me down with you. And I'm sure you met loan officers like, dude, how are you not in prison? Right? Like, what are you doing?
No, and I think with a lot of the changes happening, this is where I feel there's more transparency. So, and with buyers or sellers being like more patient, I think. So they also take more time to choose who they're going to work with. And this is, to kind of like go in line with what you're saying is that if you're not a good person and you don't know your craft, chances are you're not going to last long.
100%. And I think you hit it in the head. You got to know your craft. You got to know your business. You got to know what you're talking about, right? Yeah. And if you don't, here's the and I think you've all heard this advice. It's okay not to know the answer.
Well, it's ever changing. I think people forget to say, okay, I don't know. Let me confirm. Let me check.
Listen, I closed a loan for a close friend of mine last couple of weeks. Okay, I made an error. It was 100% my fault. But what I did was I called my friend, I called the agents, called the attorney, and says, I made a mistake. This is what's happening. This is the result, and this is what's going to happen, right? But the reason I tell the story is because I owned it. That means that at no point was anybody going to catch me in a lie, or at no point anybody going to catch me and goes, "Oh, you were sincere." Right? And my friend, after I closed, he goes, "Dude, I really appreciate you doing that, man. Because if I found out later, I would have been bullshit." Right? Right? But, and I think that character is what you do when nobody's looking.
Yeah.
Right? And it's hard. It's difficult to be a good human being, right? And I'm a parent of 4 children, and it's hard. It's only hard for the good parents, right? It's hard to discipline your child. It's hard to tell them no. It's hard to do this. Listen, and I will tell you, I tell my kids yes way too many times. Right? They are spoiled rotten.
Oh boy, no. I mean, it's a very interesting field. Lots of risks, lot of moving parts. And as I mentioned, risk, like one of the stories that keep coming to mind is, I love to win. So I love to make sure that if I'm helping a client, they're going to get the result.
Yeah.
So I have this client that they agreed, they chose me as the listing agent. And, there's a few repairs that I suggested, just so that we could get top dollar for the house.
Yeah.
Now, we get into a situation where they had some unexpected expense. Now, the person that I brought in to quote the work, reasonable pricing for them. I mean, first off, they couldn't find anyone to beat the price.
Okay.
But second, now they're short of funds.
Oh.
And as we talked last time, is that you're buying because they're selling and buying.
Okay.
So you're buying a new home, you can't take on new debt.
No.
Because that lowers your buying power. Or puts you in a class you can't even buy it up.
Yep.
So we're having that whole conversation. Okay, what are our options? We go down the line and I start seeing that there's no option and this family needs to sell, needs to move to another house. So I take on the risk of financing the repairs.
That's a bold move.
Bold move.
Yeah.
Financing the repairs. I set up everything and I get paid at closing.
Wow. That's a risk.
Bold move.
That's a risk. If you don't close, you're out that money.
Pretty much. Yeah. If they don't close, I'm in the whole ball of trouble. But, I do my due diligence, and things end up working out fine.
Yeah.
Because I ended up selling the property for more than we actually listed. That was, I have to point out, that was right during COVID.
Oh, all right. Wow.
So that means after I said yes, and this is where staying true to what you say, what you commit to do. After I said yes, I'm taking on the listing. COVID happened. Things shut down. Of course, we go towards the end of the year. The sale happened towards the end of the year. But I had said yes. I'm going to help you sell that home. I'm going to find financing for you. I financed it.
Wow.
But, on the positive side is that I ended up selling the property for more than we listed. I got paid.
You got paid. That's a big thing.
And I was able to find them another home lower than what was listed. So I was able to negotiate the price down. That was a huge risk, but ended up paying in the back end.
Oh, they'll never forget you.
Yeah, exactly. So, those are risks that you take, but also part of building relationship with people. So, and we talk about relationship you and I have.
But this isn't, I'm not alone on. Why are you alone on? This is a relationship business.
Exactly.
1,000% a relationship business. My relationship with you, my relationship with the clients, my relationship with the training, my relationship with everybody involved. It's 100% relationship. And at any point in those people we work with, I don't trust them, I don't like them, whatever, you can tell, right? And you don't feel comfortable, right? And that's why I won't work with anybody I don't trust 1,000, unless I don't work with somebody unless I would use them personally for my own personal stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I don't recommend anybody that I either haven't worked with or I don't trust personally. Right? Because when things go wrong or things go sideways, I need to know, A, you need to know, A, I got your back, and B, you got my back.
Yeah.
The borrower and the seller to know, we're all looking out for the best for you, not what's best for me.
Yeah.
Right? I tell people, listen, he goes, when should I buy a house? I don't know. When you find the house. He goes, well, you just pre-approve me. He goes, okay, take your time. Take your time. Don't buy a house just to buy a house. I promise you. Don't, you're going to hate it. Right?
Hey, if you didn't like it the first day you saw it, there is a very good chance you're not going to like it 5 years down the line.
You mean you're not going to like it when you walk in the house every day?
When you have that mortgage?
Crazy, right? So listen, I'm here to be a tool. And I always find at the end, actually, because people at the end goes, thank you so much. I mean, I helped you, but you bought the house. You worked, you had the money, you had the credit, you did all that. I was just a tool to get you there.
Exactly.
Right? But yeah, it's a crazy grind on this.
I mean, earlier we were talking about balancing marketing, prospecting. Now, one big thing, I mean, you and I were married. How do you no.
It's funny.
No, but how do you balance, because as you're doing marketing and you're prospecting, and, I call that the CEO hat because you're looking for new business.
Yep.
And as you're actually in the grind doing the work, so getting people pre-proven that you're the worker, and you also have kids, a wife, how do you balance all that? How do you work that balance?
I think the number one thing, and I think everyone who's successful will always tell you, my wife or my husband, I couldn't do without them. They all tell you the same thing. My wife, right? Jeff Bezos, you got divorced and married, but his wife was there when he built Amazon. From everywhere, right?
Yeah.
My wife and I have an agreement, understanding. This is what it takes to have the life that we have and the family that we have and all that. But she also is she's an executive at her job, and she works 50, 60 hours a week. But so when she walks away and you get on a phone call, I know that I have to step in, right,
and then fill in.
Oh, vice versa. But it's that conversation ahead of time that we have, that this is what it takes.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's the great thing where, Instagram and Facebook and all that just show the fun side. They don't see this part, right? They don't see the grind. They don't see where it's my kid's birthday and I get to go away and take a phone call. She's got to stay away from a phone call. Yeah. Or whatever, or that, I love on Facebook. Oh, just sold. Well, they don't see the craziness that was to get to that just the closing table. But I think it's the relationships you have that are the most important. Like you and I have a great relationship, right? You can call me and say, Dominic, cut the shit. Like, how do we do this? Well, I can call Joe. It's like, Joe, that's not closing. Like, that's a problem. Or this is a problem. This is how we right? Or how or whatever. But that's the relationship that we have. Like, and I always joke is, you and I are friends that happen to do business. And everyone I work with, I've had in my house. I've had dinner with them. I've met their children. They've met my children. It's easy to work with, I say friends. It's easy to work with friends and people you trust than just total strangers. Yeah. Because this is a relationship building. Yeah. Relationship business. Yeah. And number one relationship you need to have is your spouse. Because if your spouse doesn't have your back and doesn't understand what you do or what it takes to get what you do, you're just a friend.
It will be difficult, right?
Yeah. And then, I'll be honest, my wife and I had battles, believe me. When I first started, I was like, all over the place. Yeah. And so I learned, what to do, but, she did it with me. And, we did great.
Yeah. No, I think my struggle when I first started was that I sold the idea when I was getting into business that I would make my own schedule. I would have a lot more flexibility. Yes. But as I'm seasoned in, it is never that case. Yeah. It'll start either I have a full day on the calendar that ends up there's a few cancellations, so half the day becomes free. Yep. Or it will start free and then end up full before lunch. Oh yeah. And now I have a crazy busy day.
I got 2 emails and I look at them like, why is there 47 emails in the box? What is going on right now? What is happening? Right?
Yeah. No, it's really crazy. Like, and it's really important to have, for you and I to have that relationship with our spouses, because I truly believe I wouldn't be able to do this if she wasn't. For example, I know tomorrow I'm attending something in the afternoon. I had to make sure we coordinate. Hey, from that time to that time, I have this event I need to attend.
I have a family calendar on my phone. Yeah. Also, if you walk in my house, there's the digital family calendar. It's right. So we always communicate. I can't wait for the kids to go back to school because I think one thing I've learned, and one thing in our field, any sales position is coaching. Right? Like, I coach how to do one thing, and I learned at the end of the day, it's you. Yes, you are what makes you special and makes you successful. It's you, right? And there's no ifs and buts about it, right? I can give you the playbook to 5 different loan officers, 5 different different realtors, and I'm going to get 5 different results. Exactly. Because you got to want it.
You got to want it, but you also got to do the work.
Well, you got to,
Because it doesn't kind of just happen. Because, as you said, you talk about coaching, mentorship. Mm-hmm. We both got coached. We both got mentors. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I feel like I was given, the systems, but I had to do the work to adapt it to make it fit to my needs.
Yeah.
Make it fit to how I work.
Yeah.
And now that I have the system, and then I tailored it to me, now I had to put in the time to get it to work.
You have to be real on your weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
The one thing is I'm not detail oriented, right? I miss little things here. But at the same time, I have an assistant, I have a team behind me who will catch the little things. Say, hey, do this. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. But also, my strong point is I can talk to literally anyone.
Yeah.
I can talk to the wall. But that's my strong point. And I'm very outgoing, very charismatic. But you also got to be aware of weaknesses. And it's funny. I learned something the other day. It goes, you don't work on your weaknesses. Those aren't going away. There's nothing I can do that's going to make me detail oriented. Maybe a little bit better. Yeah. But that's not who I am. I'm not a detail oriented person.
You're a big picture guy.
I'm a big picture guy, right?
Yeah.
So work on your strengths, right? My strengths are, outgoing, charismatic, fun, I can, organize, things like that. I'm going to work on my strengths because that's what got me here. I'm not going to work at things I know I'm not good at, right?
Exactly.
Listen, I would love to be an artist. I would love to draw, but I can't draw for shit, right? So I'm not going to work on drawing.
Wait. You can draw sticks.
Not even. Not even. My guy's head is crooked. It's a problem. But it was blew my mind when I heard that. It was always work on what you're good at.
Yeah. Because
that's what got you here. Your weaknesses. I mean, again, yes, work on your weaknesses. Yes, I'm going to work to get a little bit better on catching little things.
Yeah.
And, if I got made this error here, I won't make it again. But there's nothing's going to make me sit here and read a 50-page book. I'm not a reader. But I watched the hell out of the movie, though.
No, I mean, you hire for wherever you were weak or wherever it's not your strong suit.
Mm-hmm.
You get someone that's better than you that can kind of like shoulder you, and then you can provide a better result at the end.
And get a mentor.
Yeah.
Get a mentor.
No, I think if you're getting in this business,
or any business,
any business,
any sales,
you really want to get to talk to someone that did what you want to do.
Someone's doing it, right?
Yeah,
someone's doing. If your goal is I want to be I want to make $1 million a year in sales.
You need to be able to
find that person who's made $1 million in sales the last 10 years and say, okay, how did you do it?
How did you do it?
And be uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, but I mean, this is where growth happens when you're uncomfortable. If you're comfortable, nothing.
But you say this, and it's funny because you say this, and I know people who are in their 9-to-5 job and they fucking hate it. They're miserable and they want to do this. And I say to them, so go do something else. Well, and you get the excuses. Well, I don't know what I want to do. I'm nervous. I don't know about the money. Then you don't.
No, but listen, this is, again, they're comfortable. There's a guarantee. There's a safety net that is provided. Like we were saying earlier, every 2 weeks you get that paycheck. One of the things that I thought about it, but I didn't fully dive into it when I was transitioning, was insurance.
Mm-hmm.
You need insurance. You need, there's other benefits that you get in addition to the paycheck that you need to cover when you transition to fully commission based.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fortunately, my wife is W-2, so I think what was it? Last year or the year before last, we had an unfortunate situation happen to us, and we had to go to the marketplace to look for insurance for a few months. And when I looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Let's not get down to insurance.
But there's that safety net that is provided that, gives you comfort.
But you say the safety net, I agree with you, there's a safety net. But successful people realize that safety net is just an illusion. Like, I remember, I was in corporate America, I remember sitting in my cubicle going, this is stupid. Mm-hmm. I can't be 50 years old, sitting in my cubicle, fighting for that middle management job for another 10 grand my salary. Absolutely not. Stupid. Mm-hmm. But I was well aware of it, but I also took action.
Yeah.
Right? And we've met so many people who are just like,
I
I'm going to figure it out later. And then before you know it, they're 60 years old. And like, dude, what have you done the last, right?
Yeah. No, and you know, I was saying, like, I had this, I think I made it to that middle management position. And then, you know, I wanted to grow, but I realized every time I got a new title, there wasn't really any growth.
No.
And I didn't like where I was. I love what I was doing there, but I didn't like working there.
Yeah.
And then I didn't realize it until I was talking to my brother one day. He was asking me, you know, how everything was going, what I was doing and everything. And then, you know, whenever, you know, someone asks you, you go into your whole spiel, and, you know, it's not until he told me, right after I finished, he was like, dude, you sound miserable. I was like, wow. So then I was like, you know what? I think it's time that I change.
Yeah.
That I do something. I mean, I won't recommend anybody to do the change like I did.
No, I recommend change.
I recommend change, but
I recommend.
Listen, I did the change crazy.
But I don't believe there's any crazy. I don't believe there's any. If you were sitting there and you're thinking, I don't want to do this, I want to do something else, and I think you do, just do it.
You should do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
No, I mean,
don't quit your job and jump. No, you should find a way to transition or.
And that's, well, hey, listen.
Yeah.
This is what I did. I just gave a month notice and just quit. Yeah. I had nothing lined up. The prospect that I had.
Don't do that.
Exactly. That's what I said. Don't do it the way I do it. Did it, but. Yeah, I had one prospect lined up that was pre-approved. I thought ready to go. That never closed.
Oh, wow.
I was getting married.
Wow. Yeah,
so I went from a good salary to zero.
That's something. Well, I think...
But you know what? In all honesty, if I didn't do it that way, I don't think I would have had the success I had. Because what ended up happening the first couple of days that I transitioned into being a full-time agent, it was really uncomfortable because I was used to, you know, waking up at 6 a.m, getting ready, leaving the house by 7, scream at traffic for about an hour and a half, then get to work, do my 8-hour, scream again at traffic for another 2 hours, and then get home, wake up tomorrow, do the same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
But the first day I woke up, I was like, oh my God, I'm late. Then I'm like, wait, I have nowhere to go. I mean, I had to take 5 steps to my office from my bedroom.
Yeah.
But I didn't have an appointment set.
Yeah.
So, you know, I sat down, I think I did the right thing, learn. I think I spent, 16 hours working. Like, when I say work, reading, watching videos, trying to market myself, and do, you know, a whole bunch of things. But, you know, it was different. The second day, same thing. Third day, I was like, oh my God, I really need to discipline myself. Because otherwise, I would be spending my entire day here and not do anything.
Yeah. Oh, it's easy to just keep
yeah. And then, you know, it was, you know, with time, everything, I ended up to structure my schedule a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a big transition from I needed to be there at that time to, hey, I need to plan my day. I need to plan my appointments, where they're going to fall, and all that. So,
cool. And I think I love hearing people's stories, like your story and my story. And, you know, like you said, most people just see the iceberg, the tip, the success. And I love hearing the grind behind it. And I can tell you many times you hear, well, I worked my 9 to 5 and I transitioned to this and this happened and I almost lost my house and my car got repoed and now they drive a Cadillac Escalade fully loaded, but nobody knows about the car getting repoed or them almost losing their house or them not being able to put food on their kids' table or but they see the and again, I think you said a couple episodes before, my favorite line, and I hate it, is must be
nice.
Be
nice.
Must be nice. Right? Yeah, must be nice.
But I mean, what are, in addition to the grind that we put in, the balancing act that we do, what are some of the challenges?
Working. Because I think people think, and I think that back to the safety net, it's the 9 to 5, no matter what you do, you're going to get paid that amount.
Mm-hmm.
Where here, in sales or any job, is just because you work, put 40 hours or whatever, doesn't mean you're going to get paid X amount of dollars, right? So how you spend your time is very important. What you do is very important to make that income that you want, right? I know a lot of loan officers, I said, what'd you do all week? Well, I was slammed, blah, 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 but they did nothing to bring in new loans or new people. I know realtors who look like their car looks a mess and they drove around the world. It's like, what'd you do? What'd you do all day long? So I think the biggest difficulty, and that's why I think you should, everyone needs a mentor, is do what is necessary, what you have to do, not to, don't look busy just to look busy. Right?
Yeah.
And that's the
I mean, there's being busy and getting busy. Right. I mean, to me, what it means is that you can do a lot of things during the day, but when you sit down and really break it down and see, nothing was really productive.
Like, for example, I make, my time should be getting people approved, getting pre-approvals out, following up the leads, all that. I'm not, me putting out fires on the loans, all that, those loans are already going to close.
Yeah.
That's not going to make me income. Right, the new pre-approvals are going to make me new income. So that's what I mean. If you I spend every day, all day, just putting out fires and loans on that, like, okay, that's great. When they close, then what? Right, and that's an important lesson to learn.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. No, definitely. So I mean, we keep, I think, beating a dead horse. It's like, I think any business, anything you get in, get somebody to mentor you, get somebody to coach you, And I think of a mentor as someone that you can just dial and say, hey, listen, I'm thinking about doing this.
A mentor is somebody you can call at 2 o'clock on a Saturday and they'll answer the phone.
Yeah.
That's a mentor.
Yeah.
Someone who won't answer that phone, that's a colleague.
Yeah.
Now, you want a mentor where on a Friday night when you're hanging out with your wife and you're like, oh man, it's great. Well, let me call. Hey, what do you do with this idea? And he answers that phone. That's a mentor.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, there's no magic sauce. There's nothing. No. There's nothing that's going to make it all work. It's you. You are, and you are what's going to be important. And doesn't make, like I said, this. I just told you the stat. 46% of loan officers have renewed their license in the last 2 years. Why? Because this is a grind right now. It's hard.
Oh yeah.
It's hard telling the truth. It's hard being a good person. Right. It's hard being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? And that's important.
No, but I mean, I think also as the big difference as it's a new, or as the terrain is changing, I should probably say, is that a lot of people, it's not as easy as it used to be years ago. And when I say easy, I use the word lightly. There were a lot more houses on the market. Yeah. Rates were a little bit lower, for example, especially during COVID. So you had a lot more people pre-approved. Yeah. You'd list a house and before you know it, you'd have 2 digits offers. Yeah. So you weren't spending a lot of time looking for homes or working with a client before you got, before they got something.
Well, that's what bad loan officers, bad realtors could get away with, because you really didn't have to grind away at it, right?
But now you really kind of have to double down and really hustle.
But know your craft. You got to know the craft.
Exactly.
Right? When I pre-approve somebody, I say, hey, listen, I could get you making up to 500,000, and they call me back, goes, well, another loan officer can get me to 700,000. I'm like, okay, go. I wish you the best. If anything can happen, so let me know. But I have to be confident and smart and know that, that 700,000 is not going to work.
Yes.
Yeah, they're missing, child support. They're missing collections. They're missing something. And 99% of the time, hey, it's not working. I know. But you also have to be able to say that, right? You can't be like, oh, let me go work and try to get the 700,000. You're not going to get the 700,000, right?
Because, I mean, the true story is you could probably get to that 700,000, but do you have the funds to get there?
No,
because you're talking about like some debts that probably.
Well, no, but even if they paid off the debts, I'm talking. You only make so much money. Yeah, you only buy so much house. So if that 500,000 is the hard stop, or right, you're not getting 700,000. Right? If I make X amount of dollars, right, someone who doesn't make I'm making $100,000 is not buying a $5 million house. That's not happening. Regardless how much debt they have and don't have, they're not buying a $5 million house making $100,000. Right? Unless they're putting down a huge inheritance or whatever they're getting. Right? That's the skinny of it. Right? But you also have to be smart enough and know your business to know when to say, hey, that's not going to work. But if that other person says it's going to work, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm 99.99% positive that's not going to work. Yeah. Right? And then, but also be humble too. When they come back and say, hey, I'm sorry that, hey, man, I'm sorry that didn't work, dude. It's
not the moment. We've had situations where people came back at a vulnerable stage. Yeah. And where, they went with that person that said that, okay, yep, I can get you there. They get an offer accepted. Now they have money on the line and they come back. They're like, it didn't work. We need help. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like getting that to work at that point or finding a path through that situation is not always as simple.
Well, as everyone knows, I'm selling and buying a new house. I wanted X amount of dollars for my house. Be wishful thinking, and I didn't get it. But at the same time, it's a tough conversation with the realtors, you included, is you're not getting this. This is what you're getting. Yeah. Okay, cool. I accept it. But back to the relationship part where it's like, I respect you enough, goes, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. I wanted this, not happening because the market's not doing it. Yeah. You got to take this to close. Do you want? Okay, cool. But at the same time, it could have went other way, right? I could have lost my shit and said, no, I'm not doing that. Put my feet in the sand until I get an X amount of dollars, and I'll be sitting and going, no one's buying my house. Yeah. Right? And then
this goes back to, again, knowing your craft. Right, because we look at data, we make opinion-based assessment on what the value should be, what the market interest is at that point. But the market can shift. And a lot of times the market will shift or will potentially shift after you've listed that house. Right. So you become at a point where, okay, you need to, again, since it's someone that you trust that you hire, you need to sit down, listen to the information they're bringing back, and make that decision at that point. Right. All right. Interesting stuff.
Good stuff.
But, there's a lot that happened. There's a lot that we put in so that we can get to the level that we are. So I think we should stop at that point and then tease people for next week because I want to talk about the horizontal move that I made 3 years ago, which was, that one. The investment that I made on a flip, and how I turned that.
So you hear this story, you won't believe it.
A success story.
At the end, it was a success story. For a while, it was
brutal.
It was a horrible.
Brutal. Yeah. But that's for the next episode. Yeah. So, thank you again for tuning in. Follow us, Instagram, Twitter, or as you like to tell me, it's X. It's still Twitter. Yeah. But hey, thank you again for tuning in and see you next time.
Cool.